We just flipped this property in Pretoria, South Africa, and in this video we cover the entire process and show you exactly how we did it. So this property is on a street in Garsfontein where a lot of people drive by, and it's one of these that we've had on lists for years, right?
We've dropped off probably 5 to 10 letters at this guy's house, but the owner wasn't staying there.
Yes, the owner wasn't staying there. I think he was a pharmacist. He wasn't in bad debt or anything bad. It was just like he didn't get it. He owned this property. And it was some of his workers actually staying there.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to give him the letters because that would mean
they lose
to move somewhere else. So, and I've spoken to so many estate agents about this house, and nobody ever knew the owner or could track him down.
Got through to him, yeah.
But then I spoke to Marijke and said, let's just try and find that house. Or Adele. I think Adele spoke to him, and then Marijke spoke to him, and like through the real estate side of the business, they then came through and found the owner and discussed making an offer to him, and he was open to it. And then or he actually told them he will take nothing less than 1.2 million, and Marijke kind of knew, okay, that's probably where we will buy it, and they made the deal happen.
Yeah, but we should say it was in a terrible condition. It looked like the type of property that we want to buy, and that's normally a bit of an insult to the owner, because it's a perfect.
If you get a letter from us, your property from the outside looks like it will need a bit of maintenance.
It's not because of beautiful landscaping and nice paint and so on.
We always look for houses with long grass, paint peeling off. And that's just what we can see from the outside. And as you'll see in this video, the inside was even way worse. So then we found this property, but I from the start had it's this massive stand, right? I think it's 1,300 square meter stand. And then it's like this little block sitting on it. The block garage and the block house. And I almost thought, I see this black little block, like almost this like architectural piece sitting on a good landscape where we almost want to have it live out to the garden properly, right? And that was my idea from the beginning.
I think a lot of flat roof properties, they almost look unfinished. They look like they need to get a roof on
like
to
you
look
would draw
finished.
A picture of a house.
Yes, but this one didn't look like that, and I think it's because of the big yard that it had. It was sitting like a third of the way into the property, so there was quite a big lawn in front. And then because the two buildings are staggered, the one is a little bit in front of the other one, and that sits there, it gave this nice picture from like a street view. And that gave basically the concept that we wanted to renovate this house with. Yes,
blocky house, and that's the thing we went into this property with from the start. I think we went in with the idea of this is a cool little modern square house.
Almost also like battleship on an ocean.
Battleship grey, that type of thing is what we went with eventually as well, in the colouring and so on. And we actually ended up, after painting it, or just before painting it, just from like the visualization and everything, with these, we almost ended up saying, hey, we have to soften this a bit now with plants and pergolas and stuff like that to the front.
Because a property can get quite harsh when firstly it's so square and so flat, and now we've painted it a dark color, so you want to soften that. And I think we were able to do that with firstly big parts of the driveway and the front leading to the house. We softened with landscaping and with crusher stone,
gravel,
which is not a totally flat surface. It's
organic.
Yes, it's organic.
Bringing that organic and combining that with the blockiness of this property.
And then again, like what we did on the garage is it looked a little bit small. It looked a little bit weird in relation to the
like
house.
it needed something extra.
Yeah, so we built
trim.
like, I think it was 5 or 6 layers of bricks on top of it. That really does nothing. It's just facade. And on the facade we also added the like pergola beams to the front of the garage. It's also, I describe it normally as like a moustache. It has
No. It's more like eyebrows.
eyebrows. Doesn't really have a role,
Yeah.
but it's just visual.
Because if you've seen a guy without eyebrows,
You know
you
it's
know
missing something.
well, yeah, you don't necessarily know what it is missing. You just know something's not right.
Yeah.
And this garage felt like that. So we added that little facade, and then we just explored heavily onto the backyard and opened it up and cleaned it out and created a little boma on the side and a little stoop braai area to have it live out to the back, right? And then I remember walking into this house the first day. We went through the back door and it was smelly. This house was bad from the
And
smell
it was full of crap.
yeah.
There was tremendous amount of crap inside the house,
yeah.
musical things and so forth, which we cleared out. I mean, we always have that problem, but I think that covers basically the outside concept of it. Let's go to the inside and see what we did there, and firstly the layout changes that we made.
You mean
taking
the
out
opening
walls,
out of
yes.
walls, so to create an open plan living
Yes.
environment. Yeah.
So with the interior of this house, it was a typical old Garsfontein house, which had
80s, probably early 80s maybe.
probably that, but it had a lot of small compartments where the rooms segment the whole property into smaller living areas.
Separate kitchen, small dining room, small TV room, and then a little hallway. Right?
Yeah. And the nice thing with a lot of these properties is the fact that you normally have a square type of building where the roof spans from the one outside wall to the other outside wall.
And good orientation. Normally these properties all look towards the north quite well, and the living areas and the bedrooms are on the northern side, and then the kitchen and the bathrooms and that type of thing is on the southern side.
Yeah.
Maybe one additional bedroom or whatever is on that side.
So what we normally do is we open up as much as we can to create the type of living style that is modern and that we like to live in and that we think other people like to live in.
So entertaining.
Yeah, and especially with the small house, because this house is basically 150 squares. So when you have a much bigger house, you don't want to just open up everything, because then you basically have a hall.
Yeah.
So for the small type of house, you do want to open everything, because that gives you a lot more play in your furniture layouts, how you can use the space, and it makes it feel bigger.
Still, though, we created the corner, we kept the one wall in the kitchen to not completely open up. And I remember we had this discussion about a scullery, right? So, and in this house, we didn't have enough space to create a separate scullery.
Yeah.
So we kind of hid it around the corner by keeping that one wall. And then we created a peninsula for the kitchen. We redid the entire kitchen. So again, with this dark, modern block style, almost cafe. Felt to me like a trendy cafe is the style I wanted to go with this kitchen. But we were a bit limited by the countertops, right, in this property. Because we had some countertops. We had a thing go wrong on a client site where the sample for the countertops had a little mark on it, very small, like the size of my nail.
Yeah, and
on
it's
the block.
And it's like a 10 by 10 sample.
Yeah.
And the counter has veins in it, but that sample doesn't have.
It was white. And the guy wanted the white tops, and I showed him the sample, and he said he's happy. I think it's called Dream or something like that. And showed him the sample. He was completely happy with it. But then when they started installing, he was like, wait, there's a lot of veins on this. And we were on our way to a trip somewhere, and we saw, oh shucks, it's the one with the vein. And we stopped the install for the client, and we said, okay, we now have these tops. We had new tops installed with them. Quentin from Viscon helped us out and gave us a good price on the new ones. We had to now buy additionally. And then we ended up with these tops that we put into this house, because we knew we have this smaller kitchen coming up. That was a similar sized kitchen, so we could use these tops, but we were now a bit restricted, saying, hey, we have to now design around these.
Yeah, we literally designed the cabinetry around the tops that we have.
We did have. So we ended up using the Dream, or whatever that's called, with a color Palma dark green grey color for the kitchen cabinetry. And then we have these really cool matte little subways, matte black subway tiles. Oh, and then the big feature I'm forgetting about in the kitchen, we opened up to the braai area.
Yeah,
the kitchen.
There was a window.
Yeah.
And we built a new braai area around the outside, and it just made sense that
be able to serve through you.
Yeah, you would want to talk to the guy outside, or your
From the
husband or
kitchen.
whatever.
Yeah.
So those older style windows, the steel windows, which we are normally able to keep, we couldn't do it on this because you'd want to serve out through there.
Yeah.
So we did a folding and stacking window
Completely custom for the space. So the window in the kitchen slides open and serves to the braai area, and then you can go around in the sliding door and go out to that braai area as well. So it's actually quite a nice. Again, we design houses like we want to live. And we are prone to entertain and have guests over and have a braai and a kitchen and all in one space, maybe have the TV playing rugby or something like that. So a lot of things in one space. Then the stoop we've spoken about now with the braai, the kitchen, nice open plan dining and living area. And then going into the bathrooms. Well, the first one is a guest toilet. I just now, when we saw the proper before video again, saw those tiles we had in there. It was like proper 80s tiles. Patterned, 20 by 20. Some guy made a lot of money by selling patterned tiles that he imported from Europe or somewhere. And this house was covered in it because it was still as from the 80s. So we didn't reconfigure anything in the, oh no, we did. We didn't reconfigure the 2 bathrooms and the bedrooms, but the master
ensuite
did not have an ensuite. So we incorporated the outside toilet.
It did have an ensuite, but a very small ensuite.
Very small, and a tight cabinetry in the
Yes,
bedroom.
so there was basically a walk-in robe. Or no, there was built-in cabinets in the bedroom.
Yes.
But then there was
Too tight to have a bed in there.
There was a small corner in front of the bathroom that didn't really have a space. It was like maybe a makeup desk or something that was there. And then there was the small, like 1.8 by 1.8 bathroom, which had a lot of weird things. The shower was cramped in. There was a small vanity next to it and a toilet next to that.
And then there was an outside toilet adjacent to this on the outside. And that we then brought into the house, took that wall down, incorporated that.
Yeah, it basically gave us another 2 squares in that bathroom, which is a lot.
Made a shower.
It's the total shower.
Walk-in shower in the main
But
bedroom.
now then the space that we had for the shower, vanity and toilet, we just had to fit a vanity and toilet.
Yes.
And then the space that was like a makeup station or whatever, we created a walk-in robe around a corner.
Yes. It's a very nice walk-in wardrobe. And we reconfigured the layout of this master bedroom.
Yes.
I think this house came out spectacular. I love this green. Can you remember that color of green? I think it's
no, but we'll put it in
Lala Palm.
Yes.
Lala Palm is the green we used, the accent green. We used a lot of these dark accents, accent colors. Something like, is it anthracite or what's the color?
Anthracite was the dark one.
Dark color on the outside, and atmosphere grey.
Atmosphere grey as well.
From Durham.
Yes.
Used that in this house, and then just soften it with some wooden aspects, some black frames like we always do to make it modern. And I think this house came out great. We didn't make that big of a profit on this house because we had to redo everything.
Yeah, and because of the size of the building.
There was, you mean we couldn't sell it for that much because it wasn't that big?
Yeah, the other thing which we knew but we didn't really plan on was the amount of lawn that we had to put in.
Yeah.
Because of the stand is basically 1.3, 1.4 1,400 squares, and the house basically sits on 200 of it.
So you're saying we had to do 1,000 square meters of outside flooring in some way,
Yes.
whether gravel or crusher stone or grass or something.
Yeah.
But so that was a big expense, but But yeah, like you said, we couldn't sell it for that much because it's still just a 200 square meter house.
Yeah.
And we couldn't not do the bathrooms and the kitchen, and we had to do everything.
Yeah.
So it was quite expensive. Even if it was a 300 square meter house, it would still have maybe one additional bedroom, and that's just a bit of flooring and a light. So it's not that much more expensive for those additional squares. You'd still have 2.5 bathrooms and a kitchen to do.
Yeah.
So we didn't do bad. I think we grossed like 600 or something off it, and then had some expenses to take off there and so on. But in reality, not as profitable, but still a good flip to do. And maybe this is a good time for an ad. Let's just run a quick ad. If you want to learn to flip properties like we do here, we do have a course. It's on our website, and I'll give you guys a little coupon code, make it a bit cheaper. Let's take, how much do we want to give off? 15%.
Yeah.
Let's give them 15% off with this code.
And that means
there's a code in here.
that means you have watched the video through long enough to get a reward.
Yeah, right at the end you got the code for the course. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be doing a couple more of these. I think one other thing to mention is we did a couple of things around privacy in the house. We did the weaving in front because it's a bit more of a busy street.
We raised the wall.
We raised the wall in some areas.
Between us and the neighbors.
We did a bunch of landscaping, and then I think also what saved us on this is the big stoop that we added that basically creates livable space.
Even though it's not part of the actual suite.
Yes, but it gives you area that you can live in. And like previous houses that we sold, most of the owners immediately go and put a roof on that.
Yeah.
Because it's basically set up for that.
Yeah.
But due to the fact that we want to resell it, we can't do plans at that stage for additional buildings
To add a roof.
because of the time that it takes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this turned out extremely nice. And the feedback that we had 3 signed deals within 2 weeks.
Yep. So the market does really like it. I think if you do like this type of video, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow us also on our socials on Instagram and Facebook, and also share this video with somebody who is also renovating or somebody that likes renovations and that's based in South Africa, where we can help with some local renovation content that would be of value to you. As always, thanks for watching.